Hello, this is Tip Top Gaming here today with another MTG Arena video. In today's video, we are going to be covering the Eldraine Courtside Brawl. So for those of you who don't know, this is the first Brawl event. They said it'd be here at the end of the year, and they weren't lying. There are 4 precons, and as you know, when they give us precons and decks, I'm going to go over them. So, for those of you who don't know what Brawl is basically Commander, where you have a commander and it's singleton. And so you can only have one of each item. So the first deck we're going to be going over is called the Knight's Charge. And of course, it is about knights. So why don't we look at the commander? It is a 6 cost, red, white, and black commander. So that means those can be the only colors in the deck. And it is a 5/5 Vigilance and Menace. Whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, you draw a card and lose a life. And equippment you control have equip knight 0. So, of course, what's going to be in this deck? A lot of equipment and a lot of knights, and I see that. So we have, like, Vulnerable Knight, and these, of course, are all new cards, or not all, but most of them are new cards. This is crazy because it makes it so you can equip Colossus Hammer to a knight for 0. And you can switch that around at sorcery speed. So I'm just going to quickly brief through here. So this looks like it has a lot of indirect damage at the same time. And it's just basic knight and equipment tribal. With some removal in there, an arcane signet. Just removal and knights. And that's a lot of pretty much it. There is some life gain, it appears to be. But it's pretty much just removal, knights, and equipment, and that's what the commander wants, so I'm not going to complain about it. The lands include Command Tower, which is great. This card is great for this deck, like, it's perfect for it. I bet you it's probably only in this deck, although it is legal in Standard, so I wonder if something will come out of that. Overall, the land base is pretty meh, but you'll be facing people with the same land base as you. Savage Hunter, the commander, is a 5 cost 4/4 with flying. It's a Dragon Noble, which is a new type introduced with this set. And whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, sacrifice another permanent. That's not a May. And it is another. So, for instance, if someone casts this, if you cast this and someone blows up all your permanents, including your lands, he does not have to sacrifice himself. And whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So I'm expecting lots of things that want to be sacrificed, like food. And I guess that's it, really. I mean, Witch's Oven, you get to sacrifice a creature, create food. So why that is so great, and if it's 4 greater, create 2 foe tokens, you're sacrificing something, so Corvold gets to get bigger, then you get to sacrifice the food for life, so, just lots of things that want to counter things. This is a style not seen for Pollen Bright Druid. I don't know if this is an error, but yes, this might be a new style coming to it. Lots of things in here that are good for sacrificing, like Mayhem Devil, which has sacrifice tribal. This is kind of an aristocrat deck almost, like, it has a lot of those same vibes of when things die, do stuff. So this is a very aristocratic deck. With a lot of Throne of Eldraine cards. I think I might be playing this deck. I love it. It has card draw. It has a big creature. So far I would probably... honestly, I'm going to play with all 4 because they all seem really fun, and I love Commander. So then we have Chulane, Teller of Tales, who's all about casting creature spells and putting lots of lands on the battlefield. I will be surprised if, I guess I would edit this deck a little bit. If you're putting lands on the battlefield, I might throw in a Field of the Dead, something like that. But overall, this isn't bad. It seems like it's just play creatures, draw cards, draw more creatures to then play more creatures. There is Risen Reef in here. And then there's very little removal. There is Time Wipe and Prison Realm. And then you have your big... game winners. I think this deck is one of the more disappointing ones. I may be missing something, but it seems pretty sad. I mean, if you look at it, the curve is, I guess, okay. It has a lot in the upper end, and I guess Beanstalk Giant works really well here, but it's ramping you up to these big things, which I think could work. Honestly, I'm gonna have to play with these decks in order to actually give you a full, this is how it played against each other. Then the last one is Fairy Schemes. It is a 2/3 flying Death Touch lifelinker for 4. Fairy Warlock. And other creatures you control flying get +1/+0. So, of course, this is flying tribal, because they want to make flying the blue-white flyers into Esper flyers. Whenever you cast an artifact or enchantment spell, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying. And so we have Witching Well, Bag of Holding, Scrabbling Claw. So tons of artifacts and enchantments. Like, literally, that is all artifacts and enchantments. There's a ton of them. So this is actually more... This really requires you to get out your commander. And since it's early game, it's easier to do that. We have this one, which is... this card's pretty cool. I don't know if this is actually in the set. That's one of the things I don't like. Or if this is just a card for the deck. And yeah, I think that... Oh, wow, that's crazy. I think that this is going to be the more powerful deck. You get your commander out earlier. And Flyers is just a generally good strategy. It has the black in there for removal. It has at least 2 board wipes that I'm seeing. It has card draw. And it creates lots of cards. And even when you pull a card that's like a 1 cost, you still get a Flyer who is a 2/1. And then I think this deck is going to do well. No, I said this in my last breakdown. Never underestimate flying. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to play a game of this because I've yet to play a game of this. And I'm excited. So I am going to pick the Fairy Schemes deck just to, I want to see how it runs. You guys should be expecting probably 4 videos after this. Okay, so we're playing... Oh, that's kind of cool. It's showing me which deck he's playing. And then after this, we're going to look at the rewards for it. You know what? Why don't we actually... So this actually tells me what their commander is. That's cool. But why don't... I'm going to concede actually really fast and take a look at a couple things I didn't look at first. It doesn't tell us when the event ends, but here are the rewards. You will get 4 copies, and 1,000 XP, by the way, of Heraldic Banner, and you can only use these inside of the core set, or the core set 20, or the standard 2020 event, or playing against friends until Throne of Eldraine comes out. But here are the cards you will get copies of, 4 of. And of course you can keep playing until you get these. I'm assuming there's going to be a rare at the end, right? No. So these are all uncommons. I guess that's fine. They're 4 of each. That is 24 cards right here. So I'm not complaining. Of course, there were other updates that came out today. Yeah. But you can't sort by it yet, so I don't know what these are going to look like inside the system. Remember, this will be here. So on and so forth. So there were a couple, little changes, like the event coming up soon, but that's pretty much the big thing here is this. So yeah, now I'm actually going to play a game. I'm sorry, I just wanted to go over the rewards. I'm liking these new backgrounds, which are all Throne of Eldraine. It almost, they're trying to they're like, oh, we don't know what to do, so we're just going to add Throne of Eldraine just a month early, but not really. So I'm playing this deck. He'll be playing the Dragon deck. So let's see, what does this do? Oh, Emergence Zone. I know what that does. This hand is kind of risky, but I will keep it. Whoa, 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 whoa. What was that? Did anyone just see that? Oh. So this tells you all their stats. So there are 52 cards in the library. There are 7. Oh, I kind of like that. So that's kind of showing you. Okay. We're going to play Emergence Zone. Followed by Island and then Arcane Signet. That'll get us up to 3 mana. And then we have to hope to pull 1 more. These cards are new to me, so I'm sorry if I make a play error. For instance, okay, when this enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact or enchantment card from among them and put it in my hand. That's nice. I think I'm going to actually just throw out my commander, who, by the way, has this fancy top design. Yeah. So, 2/3 Death Toucher. My 2/3 Death Toucher is better. So, we can play that. I'm going to play Angelic Exaltation, because now I have another fairy, and when I attack, she will get boosted from this. Did we start at 25 life? I did not notice if we did. I believe we did. That's interesting. So if we control 4 or more artifacts, so this is just a bunch of artifacts in Enchantment Tribal, which I love. Why don't we make my cat blue? Let's see, I haven't even been paying attention. They played a command tower. Unfortunately, we can't actually pick what sleeves we want, which is kind of sad. One thing to note, you can actually click up here and see their commander, and you can hover over it, and it will tell you how many times it needs, it costs 0 more. It costs 2 more next time I cast it. Alrighty. Ooh, that's a very powerful card. Oh, I don't like that. Okay. Well, this is a very powerful card. So I just basically... So not only is it an enchantment, but every turn it is creating a artifact, assuming that they don't... pay the cost. Now, the reason I didn't attack with both is because Angelic Exaltation is boosting them for... But this person is lifelink, so it makes more sense. Overall, this deck, it's really fun. I might be buying the Brawl pre-comp now if I get a code for Arena and get to play these decks. They're really fun, although that could just be Brawl in general. So there's his commander. My commander's better. It has, well, not better, but it has... That was stupid. It has... Oh my god, I can't think of the word. It has Death Touch, so if he tries to swing into it, I can just... we can trade commanders. Another thing to note, with all of this card draw that's going on, I'm creating artifacts, which then allow me to create more tokens. Oh, I just realized it says whenever you cast an artifact. I know you guys are probably yelling at me, but it still has artifact tribals such as this card, Shinecaster. Oh, so this is a 3/3 with flying and vigilance. Cool. I'm probably gonna pick this because it's a giant 5/6 with flying, and as long as I control 4 or more artifacts, it has hexproof. So as soon as he draws a card, we'll be good. So if I was him, see why I said it was stupid is because he should have activated this ability on the Leyline Prowler and then sacrificed one of the foods that came with it, because then he gets 2 sacrifice triggers. But that's just me. Alright, so I'm threatening lethal next turn. Assuming he doesn't pay this, this thing has hexproof, but if he has a murder spell, then obviously he's going to pay it. Okay, so now I have a 6/6 hexproofer. Now this does only say sacrifice another permanent, so he could sacrifice a land. Okay, so he's probably going to use that to blow up Smothering Tithe. Or Angelic Exaltation, I don't know, actually. Angelic Exaltation, I probably would have blown up Smothering Tithe, because it's giving me, like, infinite mana. And now I have enough with that just to make... Okay. That's fine. My turn. Whenever I discard a card, exile that card. Oh, I see. I was like, what is this? Why does this make any sense? And then I realized it allows you to discard. So I'm gonna pay that to play this owl, which is also an artifact, by the way. So it triggers a Layla. And I will put this. I will pick this. And I'm going to burn this. I think this makes it lose hexproof, right? No, because Bag of Holding is also here. And this is an artifact. Okay, I won. I was going to name blue, giving all the blue creatures +2/+2, or +1/+1, or something. That was really fun. I enjoy it. It counts towards this in your daily wins. Wow. By the way, you do not get Shonda's Outrage. That is from my Master Pass. So, yeah. That was really fun. If you guys want to see more content like this, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.